Good morning, Yankee Land. How's everybody doing? Or should I say, how's everybody not doing? After that clunker again last night, what's going on? Welcome to NY Yankee Mania here on a pretty nice day here in New York City. We're pretty good. It's actually very, very nice, like 71 degrees here in the morning. So it's actually a very, very nice day. We don't have to worry about 100-degree weather, at least for another few days. I want to welcome Ben from the Sports Pod. How you doing, big guy? How's your morning so far?
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right. Well, we're going to dig in like a minute or so. I want to say hello to the chat. We have Carl. How you doing? Good morning, D-Train. Bob Rizzo, Evan. Who else? We got Jake on the bump already. I know everybody's D-Train. Jeff, how you doing? Wow. In the email here, we have John Ferrazzo. How you doing? Who's that? Oh, Anna, how you doing? Welcome back. Sabrina, brand new to it. How you doing? If anybody wants to, come to the chat. And don't forget to subscribe, everyone. Please press the subscribe button and also the like button as you go in and out. Good morning, Carl. I just want NFG. How you doing? Good morning. Whoa, we got a lot of the family here already this morning. So, you know what? Let's just get to the meat and potatoes. Ben, the Yankees, another yucky clinger game. People are very upset. Volpe had three at bats. He only saw 5 pitches or 6 pitches. Again, a very, very a game for the ages of absolutely nothing going on. They're very boring. Give us your take.
I mean, the thing I was just thinking about with Anthony Volpe is when are people just going to realize that this is what he's going to give you and this is what you have to expect? I mean, we're going on 3 full seasons of Anthony Volpe doing the same stuff. And it's not like he had a stretch. It's not like he had a season where he wasn't doing this. This has been his whole career where he likes to jump on the first pitch. He swings at the first pitch more than anyone in Major League Baseball. I get it. It's frustrating when he comes up in big spots and he wants to take a hack. But one of the things that kids are taught at a very young age is that sometimes the first pitch is the best pitch you're going to see. And then in terms of defense, Anthony Volpe isn't good enough. Flat out, he's not good enough to play shortstop for the New York Yankees. But New York Yankee fans have to come to terms with that. This is what he's going to give you. This is what you should expect. You shouldn't be expecting him to be an all-star starter shortstop. And I get it. He was a hyped-up prospect. He was not traded to the Mariners for Luis Castillo because he was supposed to be the next Jeter, the golden boy. But quite simply, he is not that. And then in terms of the game yesterday, it is very frustrating to watch the Yankees when they're playing the Blue Jays, because this is 5 games in a row now, just in the past couple weeks, that the Blue Jays have beat the Yankees. And if the Yankees don't come back and win the next 2, we've got some serious problems here.
Now, they are reporting, there's early reporting this morning that Volpe is having a problem with his arm. He has some swellness and some pain that he's been icing down. They say it's getting better, but that could also mean why he's not confident enough to throw that ball. And if that's the case, why don't they just rest him?
Has that been since the World Series, though?
What?
Has that been since the World Series? When did that injury start?
They just said that he's having trouble right now, and that's why he's not reaching first base on target anymore, and he's got to rush that throw as fast as he can because he's got to make up for the throwing problem. So they're icing it. I think he went for X-rays. Everything came okay, but he's just got some stiffness in that right throwing arm, and that would explain why he's not hitting Paul G at first base on a decent basis. I don't, we we couldn't figure out what was going on. But I think now we could finally. But here's the problem: even if you take him out, oh my God, you imagine the left side of that infield. And I'm not happy with Peraza either. I mean, please, let's stop with this. That he's an okay glove, but he makes crucial errors at crucial times. Yankees don't need any of that. So if the more they wait to get a third baseman, I don't care. Get somebody in here. I don't care if it's IKF. He's better than what we have, what the Yankees have at this point. I mean, or go get yourself a nice 34-year-old third baseman like an Arenado. And then, of course, we get into the money problem, which I'm sick and tired of talking about. The one thing I can tell you, everybody, one thing that is fact, and I was just talking to Ben about it before we went on the air. Right now, if the Yankees don't make another move, get this, they have to pay $50 million in tax. Do you really think the way Steinbrenner, and I'm not calling him cheap, but do you really think he'll go and double that? $100 million to tax next year?
Who is saying he's going to double that? You have this idea that their payroll is going to expand by like $50 million when they're going to add an Eugenio Suarez or they're going to add another guy on a smaller contract.
That's $28 million.
That's only, yes, that's not 50.
But if that's the only move, so what about another pitcher? Another 13
How much
million?
is the pitcher? You're not going to get one of the top pitchers. That's the thing. There isn't that guy that's making a ton of money.
Millions.
What'd you say?
They all making the millions.
Well, obviously they all making the millions.
Well,
but you're not going to get that guy that's on like a $20 million contract that for this year. How far spread out is that $28 million from Suarez? Because you got to look at the hit from this year.
Right. Okay. So even Keller's making a decent amount of money. So if you're trading rookies, you're not taking anything off of that payroll. If you want to say, okay, you trade Grissom, fine. Grissom. We know that Ben is not making much. Ben Rice. Even if you say we want to get rid of Austin Wells, they're not making much money. If the only way the Yankees make an impact is if they trade a Giancarlo Stanton, which they're not going to do, an Aaron Judge, which they're not going to do. The main players are the ones that are making a ton of money. You can't get rid of them. Who are you going to get rid of? Rendon? No, I don't think so. And everybody else that's available is not making. I mean, Stroman, okay, but you really think people are going to feel that Stroman is better than what they have right now? Maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm kind of bummed out because, if they owe so much, and I know the way Steinbrenner thinks, that's the problem, Ben. That's the problem. I know the way he thinks, and like you said, half the money. They're not going to go any further that much more unless his thinking just said, hey, you know what, Cash, go ahead, do what you want. Add what you want. It's not going to happen. They're gonna have a trade in front of them. They're gonna look at it. Okay, if you're gonna get a guy, even if a guy has 2 years on the contract and he's making $25 million a year, they're not gonna get that guy. I seriously doubt it. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. For me, it's not my money. They could buy the whole world if they want. Unfortunately, they're not going to do that. But
let me ask.
What?
Never mind. Keep going. You cut out.
No. I'm just annoyed. Because we have a lot of bad contracts. That's the problem. And
do you want to move off of Cashman then?
I don't know who we would put there. Maybe Derek Jeter. I don't know.
You'd find someone. I'm not expecting you to have a name. I'm just saying, do you want the idea of moving off of Brian Cashman?
I don't think it's Cashman. I think it.
So then you can't
He
complain
wants.
about the bad contracts if you don't think Cashman is in the wrong.
Yeah, but Hal approved them.
It's
If Hal
Cashman
approved
proposing
them,
it. Cashman's
what?
going, hey, Hal, I need $50 million to sign this player. And Steinbrenner's just going, yeah, you're good. It's all the decision making is on Brian Cashman. It's not Hal Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner's just approving the contracts. Cashman is the one actually proposing and has the guys in the front office that are working the numbers and this and that, all your analytics. That's all in Brian Cashman. That's all on his team. Hal Steinbrenner just approves the contracts. It is all on Brian Cashman.
Okay, all right. So then, has he withdrawn? Is he ahead of the curve now? He's done. He's not following what we used to do. He's following what they used to do years ago, and now he's got constraints, and he puts these deals together. A lot of them are turned down, unfortunately. That's the problem that the Yankees are having. We'll digest that a little bit. Let's go on to the Mets. Are you happy that their number one catcher is back? Any rumors that you're hearing? What's going on with the Mets, and what exactly are they looking for?
Yeah, Francisco Alvarez was recalled before Sunday's game. He made his return to the lineup on Monday. He had a big hit in that game, but it was more of Luis Torrens not being able to compete at the major league level. He has had just some putrid at-bats, some putrid games, and you needed that guy like Alvarez. Last night, he was 1 for 2. He had 2 walks, which is something I've never seen from him before, and he scored 2 runs, so you'll take that every day of the week. And so much of the blame that's put on Alvarez should be deflected to Eric Chavez, the hitting coach, who has just completely ruined Francisco Alvarez. His ideology is more getting on top of the ball and spraying line drives over the field, where clearly Francisco Alvarez just isn't that type of player. Francisco Alvarez is someone who has to lift the ball, someone who has to hit the ball out of the park at a consistent rate. That is his forte. Francisco Alvarez is known for hitting homers, and Eric Chavez is trying to tear him down. And that's why when he went back to the minors, all of a sudden his average was 275. He homered in like 10 or 15 games towards the end of his Syracuse tenure. I am happy he's back up, but I am worried. I am deeply worried that Eric Chavez is going to ruin his swing again. And the other thing, I'm not necessarily happy that Alvarez is back up in the sense that, oh yeah, we need Alvarez back in the lineup. It's more of what Luis Torrens hasn't been able to do in his tenure. And Hayden Stenger's not giving you anything off the bench. So there's that.
What are your impressions on Alonso? You think he's cooled off? You think he's ready for a big run? What do you think of Alonso's year so far?
He's had a great year. I mean, he's completely turned it around from where he was last year. At this point last year, he was probably hitting around 230, 240, and not hitting as many homers as we were used to. I think he is poised for a big playoff run. And really, I think I said this yesterday, but ever since he hit that homer off Devin Williams, he has been dominating. It doesn't matter if it was in the postseason last year. It doesn't matter if it was carried over into the regular season this year. Pete Alonso reverted back to his rookie season self. Pete Alonso was reverted back to his best self. So where I'm at is Alonso is going to have a big year. Pete Alonso is one of the premier power hitters in our sport. As far as free agency goes, I can't see him leaving. I just can't do it. So I think Steve Cohen and David Stearns will open up the checkbooks and pay Pete his money.
You think it's going to be a little bit easier, or you think it's going to be another drawn-out process with them this year?
Well, I mean, Scott Boras is his agent, so obviously it's going to be drawn out.
Right. Yeah, it's always Scott Boras. I mean, it's sometimes I really believe he ruins a lot of the sport because again he's the old-fashioned mentality. I mean, he's been in baseball ever since I've known the name baseball, and he just he has PO'd a few people, and they have left him, but he's just he wants to suck every dollar he can get for that player, which I can't blame him. But come on, what they did with Alonso was kind of sneaky. They should have signed him right away. Just that home run alone should have made
Why?
him.
He didn't deserve it after his season. You can't just look at one play or a couple weeks.
He's a Met. He loves being a Met, and he proved that. And
I get it. But David Stearns is a guy who he has to see that Pete Alonso is able to produce. And I don't count the years prior to Stearns, so I can only look at 2024. And in 2024, Pete Alonso wasn't good enough. There's a reason the market wasn't high for him. There's a reason he had to come back to the Mets and take that smaller contract, because it wasn't out there for him anywhere else. The Mets were the only team that offered him. And I get it. It is like you would like the Mets to sign him. You would like the Mets to lock him up. But as a Met fan, I'm happy. It played out perfectly for us because now we get him back on a cheaper contract. And yeah, we're going to have to pay him, but that gave us another gear to sign Juan Soto. That gave us the flexibility to sign Sean Manaea last year. Like, I don't know if Manaea is back if Pete Alonso gets his big contract. David Stearns worked that situation perfectly last offseason.
Yeah, but here's also the thing, though. Now Alonso knows that he's got him over a barrel a little bit. He is going to listen to offers. There's no question about that. And I think he's going to get better offers this year.
As he should, 100% he should. I just think Steve Cohen will outpay anyone.
The Yankees jumping in, I would not mind it one bit.
I can't see him going crosstown unless you guys have the highest offer by a lot. But it seems like you don't want to spend any money because of the luxury tax. So he's only getting.
But once you pay that luxury tax in January, you reset. And the Yankees do have some money coming off. I think about $35 million from what I understand. So we'll see. I mean, listen, the Yankees have a lot more problems right now than worrying about any taxes or anything, because they've dug a hole and they have to try to get out of it if they want to do any type of run in this playoffs. And I just, maybe they'll surprise us, Ben, and they'll do something big with contracts and they won't care. But unfortunately, I just don't see it. They made like they do. They Band-Aid everything. You can get maybe an IKF. Maybe you'll get a fourth starter. Maybe you'll get a decent help in the bullpen. I just don't see them getting, anybody substantial, knowing that what we already know, and it's hard fact. If how I don't know. We don't know what's in his mind. I mean, will he do it or won't he do it? Does he think it's worth a shot to pay all this money at the end of the year? Or is it worth a shot to keep what he's got and worry about next year and just try to fill a Band-Aid hole right now? Because maybe they honestly don't think they're good enough to win.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think Hal Steinbrenner's biggest priority is right now? And what do you think Brian Cashman's biggest priority is right now?
Pitching.
I'm saying season-wise.
To win the World Series.
To win the World Series, bingo. So how are you going to get to the World Series? You're going to spend the money. That's what's on their mind. They have to spend money.
But they haven't done it in the past. They had Soto last year.
Yes, they had a complete lineup last year. They didn't really need anything.
I don't know about complete, Ben.
They added Jazz Chisholm. That's a borderline all-star.
Yeah, but how many get? There were 3 batters in the lineup the whole year. Everybody else went out to lunch.
Last year, you had Aaron Judge. You had playoff Giancarlo Stanton. You had Juan Soto. You had Jazz Chisholm Jr. Let me just think real quick. In center field, you had Judge. Left field, you had I guess it was Verdugo / so didn't really get a You didn't get anything
And
there.
that was it.
You
And that
got
was it.
Jazz.
Right.
Anthony Volpe showed up in the playoffs. Everyone wants to complain about him, but he did play well. You catcher Austin Wells played well. I don't think Ben Rice was really playing much last year,
No.
but
Well,
no,
he had,
yeah.
he
So
had
really,
one, he
Austin
had
Wells.
one.
That's five
Right.
guys I named though. That's five guys.
Listen, the Yankees, it reared its ugly head. And Torres, they had Torres, who was awful all year until the end of the year, and we know that. The Yankees had a lot of problems. They, when they got Soto, they were supposed to be all in. They saw that Verdugo wasn't doing anything. They weren't proactive. They just let it go. They had nobody to bring up from the minors. They had chances to get a few people, and they let it go. They just let it go. Yeah, they made it to the World Series. That's great, and it's awesome. But the lineup, yes, it lengthened, but it's still got so many holes. I mean, Austin Wells, you can't count on him. You can't. He strikes out more than we change underwear. I mean, it's ridiculous.
He's been good ever since he came up. There's not been a time where he's terrible for months at a time.
Ben, he's not a good catcher.
Yes, absolutely. He 100% is a good catcher.
100%. He's thrown nobody out, one guy out all year long.
How many? I feel like.
Okay, maybe two.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I feel like people don't run too often. Like, how many opportunities has he had?
Ken in the chat says Verdugo had an elite glove, but he wasn't very good. Judge didn't hit in the playoffs. Well, that's nothing new. D-Train, it doesn't what he doesn't watch Yankee games. Last year we only had two hitters in the lineup. This is from D-Train, and that's Judge, and that's on a consistent basis. Ben, I'm telling you, they only had two hitters.
But you can't expect everyone to play like Judge. You have to expect and welcome players that are worse than Judge, that are less than Judge, because Judge is in a league of his own. Soto is in a league of his own. But the guys that are hitting 260 or so, and they're getting on base enough, they're hitting the ball out of the park enough, those are hitters. Those are valuable assets. You can't expect everyone to be an all-star. This isn't the 90s. They're not the evil empire anymore. You can't expect that.
They had names in the lineup, Ben. They just
Who then?
They just couldn't hit in the clutch.
Who are the names you're talking about?
Wells, Volpe.
But you're telling me he's a bad catcher.
He is a bad catcher.
So then how are you making sense? You're saying he's a bad catcher, but he's a big name.
He doesn't hit in the clutch, and he's a bad catcher.
So how are you saying he's a big name?
Well, that's what they relied on. They relied on him, and what did he do? He struck out a ton of times.
So was Gleyber Torres a big name because they relied on him too?
Of course they relied on him, but look what he did. He wouldn't go to third base. He wasn't a team player, and they gave up on him. He was only in the lineup because they had nobody else.
But if they kept going back to them, who could they have gone to at catcher? They didn't have anyone else.
They traded away catches left and right. One to the Red Sox,
they didn't have anyone else. The end result, the bottom line is that they didn't have anyone else.
Right.
So they had to keep going back to Austin Wells.
First base. You know what the Yankees got in first base last year? Maybe 22 RBIs with five home runs. Rizzo was awful. As soon as he got hurt, that was it. He was never good last year. So they couldn't rely on Rizzo. Torres was awful. Wells was striking out like crazy. Stanton.
But I don't understand how you keep saying Wells is a big name guy and Wells is one of the guys that they kept going to. If then in the same breath, you're saying he strikes out too much and he's not a good catcher.
Who were they going to go to?
They didn't have anyone, but you didn't have to call Wells a big name guy. You could have just referred to him as one of the other guys in that lineup.
All right. So shoot me then. What can I tell you? I'm not saying. I'm just saying how the Yankees think. They thought that they had a really elite catcher, and he's got a lot to learn. You know, let's see what Ken has to say. Wells cannot make the throw to second base. Wells didn't hit for a month of August through the rest of the season. The Yankees have traded better catchers, Ramirez and Torrance, to the Mets and the Red Sox. That is the problem that they had, and it starts up the middle. The Yankees weren't getting anything up the middle from Torres, from Anthony Volpe. Yeah, they hit a little bit in the play at the end of the year and in the playoffs. I understand that, but I mean, to go all the way, they just went out to lunch. The bottom line is, you can ask any announcer you want, how many hitters did the Yankees actually have in that lineup last year? How many? 3 at the most.
So you're saying they had three all-star hitters.
Yes.
3 all-star hitters.
Yes.
But you can't expect everyone to be an all-star.
I'm not expecting
That's the thing. You have
everybody
to have
an
other,
all-star.
like Jesse Winker for the Mets. That's a hitter right there. He's not going to be an all-star player, but he can hit for you. He'll hit homers. He'll do whatever you need. He'll spray the ball to the gaps. The Yankees, yeah, they don't have a ton of guys like that, but you have to expect that people are going to give you more towards that level of production. You can't expect everyone to be an all-star. You're not the Dodgers.
Well, apparently there's some people that don't agree with you, Ben. As a matter of fact,
there's some that don't agree with you too.
But the bottom line is, listen. We all followed the Yankees all year last year, and it was the Judge and Soto show, and everybody followed or tried to follow. They made it because they had an easy way to get into the playoffs. You're going to tell me that team or this team right now is going to beat Detroit, or is going to be one of those elite teams? Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
Okay, let's move on. We have a difference of opinion here. Lou, that was the truth. We are not the Dodgers, and fans can't accept that. We understand that. But I get it that's okay, but you cannot comment on the Yankees if you don't watch them.
You think I don't watch the Yankees? Are you serious? Okay.
Let's see. Ken, on the podcast, I like your takes. Okay, Lou. Listen. Let's see. Mr. Met, Drain. He's a Met fan. D-Train, he's a Met fan. So D-Train wants to know that you're heavily against what I'm saying, which is fine. I mean,
I watch over 130 games of both teams each year. I don't just watch the Mets.
Mr. Met says, Ben, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't come back on here. How you're going to bash your co-host Joe?
It's all good. This is fun. This is the fun. When it's about sports, nothing's personal. That's all it is.
Let's be nice to Ben. It's okay. He's a Met fan. Ha ha ha.
I'm all good. We're good. No problems.
All right, let's go. Guys, don't take it too seriously. It's like we said,
sports. It's supposed to be fun.
Sports.
That's all.
We're talking Yankees. Pudge Festa, come on. Stay with us. Don't we got it's opinions. It really is opinions. All I'm saying is the Yankees have a lot of work to do and very little time to do it. And we have to accept what we have to accept. We're all upset right now. They're not winning good games. The games they're supposed to win. They look shaded. They're not inspiring at all. They really aren't.
No, they're not.
What?
They're not. No.
No, of course not. They're clearly not. But you know, all I can say is one way or the other, the Yankees have to show something. Now, there's already somebody in the chat, I forgot who it was, that said Cam is going to get slaughtered tonight. He's going to get hit really hard. I believe he's going to pitch okay. The problem is, are the Yankees going to hit in the clutch? And can they score runs without hitting home runs? They hit a home run, they score a run. Where's the situational hitting? That's all. The Yankees have had that problem for the last 10 years. There's no situational hitting.
That's Aaron Boone's ideology, and I'm on your side with this one, but you have to expect this. This is what Aaron Boone is going to give you. This is what the hitting coach is going to give you. This has been consistent. It's not like it's just one-year team, and I get it. I hate it too. I am all for the old-style baseball. Get on base, move the baton, pass the baton, keep the line moving. But it's just not going to happen with this regime. It's not going to happen with this staff. So you can't expect it to happen. That's where I'm coming from, at least.
Right. And Pudge, let's bring him on. I just don't agree with the Yankee lineup being good in the playoffs last year either.
And they weren't good enough, but they had hitters on that team. That's different than what I was saying.
Right. But the problem, you're right. So they had Torres that was pretty decent in the playoffs, and they had Judge was out to lunch, and they had Soto. 2 hitters. Chisholm, what did he bat in the playoffs?
Stanton went crazy in the playoffs last year.
Stanton does it every year, but he can't do it alone.
Well, he's a hitter.
Your main guy is batting 200. Your main guy. If it wasn't for Soto's heroics against the Indians, they were going to lose that game.
Absolutely. And I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
You
can't just disregard Stanton on this team. Stanton, I would say, was second in command to Soto last year, postseason-wise.
If the Yankees had 1 or 2 more hitters, they would have won that World Series.
And you had one that didn't show up, so you really just needed one more.
Right. But it's clearly known that Judge doesn't show up in the playoffs, and it's a shame. You know, and yes, Chaz is a good player, and he did very well, and I understand that. But if you don't have Aaron Judge doing something, and every time he's up, it's either strikeout, ground ball, pop up. That's all it was. You know, Soto couldn't do it by himself, although he beat Cleveland by himself. But if you play a really good team, you really think, you know, all the ugly heads of the Yankees showed up in that World Series. All of it.
And you got embarrassed. They had a bad couple weeks, and it sucks that it happened in the World Series when the lights are the brightest, when all these games matter more than any other game you're going to watch. But they really just had a bad couple weeks. And it starts with Judge. He's the captain. He's the leader of this team. As Judge goes, the team goes. And if he's not hitting well, if he's not catching routine fly balls out in center field, it's going to be really hard for the Yankees to win in the postseason because Judge is that good. Judge is that guy that will hit 3 homers in a game. Judge is that guy that will go 4 for 4 with 2 homers. And if he's not showing up, the Yankees, I hate to say it, but they don't have a chance to win.
Ben, even
especially this year without Soto.
When he was hitting, the man has 36 home runs. They're not winning games. So what is that showing you? Where are the other guys?
The Yankees are still well above 500 is the argument on
9 games.
9 games. That's
well above 500 for a team with a $300 million payroll and stars on it? Come on. No way.
You're 2 games up in the wild card spot, so.
Yeah, and you got the Red Sox behind you on your back, and
so
Tampa Bay will never go away. And
so you got to right the ship, and you'll be all right. It's fine. There's still time. You still got all of August and all of September to climb back into this race. There is still time, and I get it's frustrating right now, but I think I'm coming into this with more of an even mind, not rooting for the Yankees, where I can see that there are still 9 weeks left in this season. 9 weeks.
Ken says, BS, the Yankee defense imploded. Starters like Schmidt folded under pressure. Well, Schmidt folded under pressure 2 years ago against Cleveland when he gave up that big hit to that right-handed hitter who we had in right field. I forgot his name right now, but he's not really on the team, though. Let's see, Evan, let's see what he has to say. Stanton and Soto just face the facts. Sorry, don't mean to get angry, but Judge didn't do much against Cleveland.
He didn't do much against Cleveland. He didn't do much against Kansas City, and he definitely didn't do much against LA.
And if they would have played the Astros, they wouldn't have had anything either. He doesn't hit the Astros pitching. He's batting 148 against them.
The Astros to the Yankees are what the Braves are to the Mets, I feel like. Where it's just every time you go down to Minute Maid Park, you have – well, I guess it's not Minute Maid Park anymore. I forget what the actual name is. But anytime you go down there to Houston, it always seems like something bad happens. Every time they come up here to the Bronx, it feels like something bad happens. There's just a terrible taste in people's mouths about the Houston Astros, and it really does affect the Yankee players and coaches too, because there's just a difference when they are playing the Astros versus other teams.
Yeah, and also, like Old Sarge says, they're not consistent. There's no. All right, we do have injuries, and there's no question about it. They definitely have injuries, but I mean, we've seen this constantly, Ben. We're seeing this constantly. I mean, listen, I know we get in the playoffs. I know we do. But it just stops right there. The first round, they're not good enough to go forward. They were lucky last year because they played teams that weren't that great. And the Yankees had a couple of good hits, solid hits, and some decent pitching to go on. But then they met the Dodgers, and that was it.
But until you face the Tigers in the AL, what is that good team that you're talking about? Is it the Blue Jays? Because Houston is probably going to give you fits, but that's a different story. They're still not that good team that you're talking about.
Jason says, without Judge, this team isn't even sniffing the playoffs. So you need to chill out. We totally understand that.
This has gone on for too long.
They're not winning the games. They're not winning the games.
Yeah, and I get it. We saw it back in 2023 when he went down on that block of concrete out in LA. It's such a dumb injury. But the Yankees just sputtered. They had nowhere to go. It looked like they lost all direction of where they wanted to go. And you saw they finished 82-80, 2 games over 500, and they missed the playoffs. So, yes, Judge is the leader of this team. Judge is the key pin in the cog of this team. But if he's not hitting in the playoffs for multiple years at this point, we are going to get on him because it's unacceptable. You play in New York, you are subject to this criticism.
The thing is, you can't really you can't get on him because he's the star of the show. He's the star of the show, and everybody loves him, and he's a superstar. But unfortunately, he doesn't do it in the playoffs. Ken, Judge, despite some struggles early in the postseason, emerged as a key offense force for the Yankees against the Guardians, with his hitting providing critical moments. Okay. All right. But did that get them the World Series? No. And what did he do in the World Series?
Nothing. He had 1 homer in Game 5, but other than that.
I mean, exactly. But I'm not knocking Judge. I'm knocking the situation. The Yankees leave themselves open. Like this year, no bench. What good team has no bench? They stayed so long with Peraza. They stayed. You see, this guy's not hitting, and then he's great. He's a great third baseman, but he makes a crucial error all the time.
Just going back
you
to
got something
Judge succeeding.
you got something from Jason.
I got
Ben,
it. I
you
just want
don't
to make. I want
understand.
to pick 1 point first. 1 point first.
Okay, go
Just
ahead.
going back to Judge in the ALCS, he hit 167 with 3 hits, two of them being homers, 6 ribbies, and 4 runs in 5 games. Not good enough. All right, let's get to this one. Ben, you don't understand the point. Without him, there is no playoffs. My goodness, we get it. October numbers are bad, but there is no October with him. And I agree with you on that. I literally told you 2 minutes ago that in 2023, this team sucked when Judge went down. That if this team doesn't have Judge, they're fighting for a wild card spot, and they're on the outside looking in. But they are in the dance. Judge did lead them to the dance. So you can get on him when he sucks time after time again.
Pudge Vesta says they're 6-9. They're terrible, and they've lost their last 5 games against Toronto.
Yep. Jason Custodillo, I see you're what did the Mets do do last year, but nobody's talking about the Mets right now, so there's no need to bring them into this conversation. And actually, let's do it. The Mets went to 6 games against the Dodgers. You guys got embarrassed in 5. The Mets would have beaten the Yankees in the World Series, and I'm standing by that 100%. The Mets put up a fight last year. The Yankees were embarrassed by the eventual champion Los Angeles Dodgers. So what did the Mets do? They didn't make it.
I don't think they were. Whoa. First of all, I don't think they were embarrassed from the Dodgers.
Yes,
they were in just about every game. And it could have gone. That first game could have went to anybody.
It could have went anyway, but right. Aaron Boone pulled a classic Aaron Boone move. And
if they would have won that game 5, I am totally convinced the Yankees would have won the next game. And then you go to 7.
But they collapsed. They folded under the pressure. They crumbled. And in game 1, Aaron Boone, that's on him. I get it's not the players that are getting embarrassed. The managers can get embarrassed too. That was such a terrible decision to go to Nestor Cortez, who hadn't pitched in months.
Yeah, listen, Boone had a no-win situation. I didn't agree with the move, but if he brought in Hill and he gets pumped, then they're going to blame him. Why didn't you bring in Cortez? If you bring in Cortez and he didn't do it, why didn't you bring in Hill? I would not want to be in Boone's shoes with that one pitcher. I would not want to be him because that's unfair because he can't win. The only way he could win is if he got the guy out, and he couldn't get the guy out. IMTA71, welcome back to the stream. I appreciate it. But let's see, Soto, 805 million for 30-100. Okay. Joe, the Yankees were embarrassed in the World Series. I don't know. It's not a question of being embarrassed. It isn't. They could have won 3 of those games, 2 of those games for sure. Let's bring in another contributor to NY Yankee Mania, and that's Sean. Sean, join in the conversation. And give us your take on were the Yankees embarrassed in the World Series, and did they have 2 or 3 hitters the whole year? What is your take? Honestly,
in the World Series, we beat ourselves more than per se the Dodgers beat us. We made mistakes. There were poor pitching decisions in the latter end. And yeah, it was just a lot of different things. So, and then, in the other half of that question, it was a lot of, we had 3 hitters that carried the lineup, but we had, and streaky guys the rest of the time that helped the 3. And pretty much it was Judge, it was Soto, and it was Giancarlo Stanton.
Well, you got to throw in Torres a little bit.
Torres toward the end.
Right.
But I'm talking all year. That was the guys that carried our lineup.
Right. I totally agree with you. And if they would have played better teams in the playoffs, Don't you think they would have probably been knocked out?
Oh, I mean, if we played better, but I mean, Stan was on a tear through the playoffs.
Right.
He was unstoppable.
But that's one hitter.
Well, no, it was one hitter, but then you had Soto and others. But and remember, the Royals did play us a little tough. We just got them. You know, we beat them up, but they played us tough. And then Cleveland,
Cleveland only has one hitter in there. They have one hitter in there. Nobody. Charles says nobody hit last night. The bottom of the lineup is trash. That's what Charles says.
Oh no! I mean, aside from Stan, I mean, we got a double and a few singles, and then an occasional walk.
Well, we struck out 12 times.
And we struck out 12 times.
And that goes back to the ideology of Aaron Boone. That goes back to what Aaron Boone and this staff is telling their players. They like the strikeout or home run. They like the all or nothing. And I get that we don't like it as fans, observers. I don't like it. But you have to be expecting that because that is what Aaron Boone is going to give you, whether you like it or not.
And to that point,
analytics.
And to that point, okay, managers now are giving Aaron Judge the Bonds treatment. But the only player that can consistently hit behind Aaron Judge so far that has shown that he can do it and make teams pay is Cody Bellinger.
So do you want to move? What do you want to do? Move Judge up to second and move Paul Goldschmidt to third?
No, I mean, what I like is consistently put Cody Bellinger right behind Judge, between him and Stanton.
Oh, JT has a good point. If we won't get past the wild card game if we don't address all these issues. The Yankees have a lot of issues. Not only they got to get players, they got to learn the fundamentals. They don't do fundamentals. It's completely out of whack. Once in a while, the other day, I almost fell off my chair that Chas Chisholm bunted. It was amazing. It was a beautiful bunt. Why don't they let Volpe do that? Never. Just swing for the fences. Last night he was up 3 times. He saw 5 pitches. That's ridiculous. How do you swing at everything? Look at a pitch. Doesn't anybody in the dugout tell they have these iPads and they have everything. Do they work? I don't know. What are they looking at?
I told you. We got into this earlier. Sometimes the best pitchers, best pitch you're gonna see is the first pitch. And listen, I'm on your side. I think Volpe should have seen more pitches. 4 or 5 and 3 at bats is ridiculous. But there is an element where the pitches he swung at strikes and where they fastballs. Because if you are getting those 2 things, you want to jump on that pitch. And I'm not sure what he was swinging at. I could go back and look at it. But it all depends on what he's swinging at.
I agree. JT with another comment here. Make the Yankees fundamentally sound again. It's our new slogan. And he's right. You're right. How can you go on this way? They wait for they're so predictable. They wait for the 3-run homer. They wait for this. Well, how about being a little bit proactive? Whatever happened to hit and run, try it. You might like it once in a while. Like it.
Thanks for taking my point.
Is there a sin that you can't hit and run anymore? Wells always swinging the first pitch at every at-bat anyway. Yeah, you're right, Charles, about that. You're right.
Yeah,
The Yankees
Just
would have
go.
never gotten into the World Series if they didn't have Soto. So now they have a little deeper lineup without Soto, and because of the fact that they wait, they sit back, they lose in extra innings. How many games with the Yankees? I don't even say win them all. There's at least 13 games, guys. 13 games. If they would have won half of that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be talking about, okay, they got to do better against Toronto. But come on, how many games are you going to blow? How many games? And then you come back from the All-Star break, and what do? Look at the pitcher they put in there. You don't even put a starter like Blue Baker, who's been a starter his whole life. They bring in Hamilton. He got smashed. Look, nobody in their right mind said that was a good decision. Nobody could tell me that. And it's true. Everybody on social media, on TV, nobody agreed with that move. That was just, here, take the game. Come on.
Yeah, I get it. There is frustration. I mean, I've been frustrated with Mendoza recently, how he's managed the bullpen, but there is an element of 162, and I get it. You're going through a bad stretch, so everything is heightened a little bit. You got to win a couple games to get back on track.
But they did.
Right now, the Yankees aren't playing well. So you do want to go to those high leverage guys earlier in games to let them extend the game. But Hamilton's been good enough. It's not like he's been a mop-up guy this year.
No, Hamilton's been
a fastball. He gets creamed. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Hamilton has been decent this year, but our bullpen is riddled with injuries, and then Hamilton hasn't been super sharp like he's been in a couple of years, but he's been reliable. And so when you come out of the break, when everyone's got rested that wasn't a part of the All-Star break, and instead of going a starter, you decide to do a bullpen game, and you open with one of your reliable arms for deep in the game for toward the end of the game. It's like, are you forfeiting this game before it even started?
Everybody on this show knew the Yankees had already said, I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. I know they're going to lose. They all said that. And I kept saying, come on, you got to watch it. You know, it's your team and everything. What's there to watch? He throws the ball straight. He hasn't been good for 3 months. And where is he reliable? At least look what Blue Baker's been doing. He's been almost lights out in his last 3 appearances. Why not start with him?
No, Jason
C., who has his own show at nighttime, everyone, and you can definitely take a listen. He usually goes on after Yankee games. Jason Castillo, welcome again to the stream. And he's saying that Hamilton is trash.
It's a guy with a sub-4 ERA. You guys are complaining. You guys are complaining about the depth, all the injuries. How many guys do you want on this team that are going to pitch like all-stars? It goes back to what I was saying earlier about the hitters. When you guys complain about the injuries, it opens up the excuse for a guy to not be as good because you don't have options, and I get it. In that situation, JT Brubaker was probably the right decision. But overall, on a wider scale, Ian Hamilton's a guy with a sub-4 ERA. That's a guy that can get you a couple outs. I get it. He throws the ball straight. He doesn't do anything too special, but he is a guy that you can trust a little bit. I wouldn't put him in the 8th or 9th inning, but he's a guy I could turn to in the 5th or the 6th to get me 3 outs.
Not this year. Not this year. He hasn't shown that he's reliable enough.
The other problem, too, though, Joe, is that Boone has an obsession with stretching out our relievers more than they should be in the game. How many times does he take guys like Hamilton that should only be for 3 batters or an inning, or to finish an inning when you take a reliever out, a starter out, and he tries to go 2 innings. He tries to steal out, with one relief, and then they get burnt. Look at Loaisiga. Jonathan Loaisiga, who has been riddled with injuries most of his career, he's got an electric arm, but the problem is because Boone kept all the last few years kept trying to run him out for 2 innings. He's burnt out, and he can't even find the strike zone now.
Well, he had the Tommy John. You got to give them a break. You got to, that I agree. You have to give him a break, but he hasn't been good. Let's face it. He gets the first 2 outs, and then you got to pray for that 3rd out. He's been terrible. You can't sugarcoat it. Tim Hill's been pretty good, but then they brought in these other, I'm going to say bozos from the minor leagues, and they were gone after 1 game. Look at the guy the Mets just got. The Mets just got Garcia back. He can't get anybody out.
Garcia sucks.
Okay, but now he's on the Mets, and again they're probably going to use him because both teams are decimated in the bullpen. Their bullpens are not. What was it, Brito? He pitched great last year. This year he's not even a shell of himself. So they're not showing up this year. Doesn't mean that they're disgusting players. Maybe not. But 3 years of Volpe and nothing's changed, guys. Nothing. But I know Boone has to stick up for his players. But when you're telling me he's elite, he's not elite. No, he's an okay player. Okay. He's an okay player.
Can I say this one thing about Volpe? And this really bugs me. The dude in his rookie season, he struggled hitting 209. But he stole 20 bases, hit 20 homers, got a Gold Glove defensively for his rookie year. First rookie to ever do it as a Yankee, right? And then he barely steals bases now.
Yeah, he was jumping up and down.
That was one of his strong suits coming through the minors. Was if this guy gets on the base, he's a menace on the base path, and he's a brilliant base runner. But why in the world these last 2 years does he act like a deer in the headlights when he gets on base? Doesn't run.
But that's on the coaching staff, though, Sean. Because they're not letting him. He's not running. Does he have the stop sign? He's not running.
We were talking about hit and run earlier, right? And the Yankees and Mets in the 90s. Joe Torre did it, and the games I saw of the Mets. The Mets manager loved to do the hit and run, but if you had your fast guy, or a guy that can just be a menace on the base path, you let him go, and the hitter tries to hit behind him because it creates a hole on the defense. But teams don't do that no more. And we had a perfect opportunity doing it in our lineup when you had Jazz and you had Volpe.
Right, they're not taking advantage. And Dominguez really is your base stealer right now. And rightfully so. He's very fast. But I got news for you. There's another guy in the minors that's even faster than all of them, and that's Spencer Jones. How much more does he have to, if he hits like 5 more homers, can you possibly bring him up?
It's all about the service time. That's what it is. And I get it. And the more Spencer Jones continues to thrive and the more the Yankees continue to sputter, I'm transitioning more into your boat, Joe, where I don't think the Yankees should move off of Jones at the deadline at all right now. He's been that good.
It damn hard. He's making it very hard for them to
really is.
Cashman is in a situation, do I or don't I? If they do and he goes crazy, we'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, you'll hear, you'll hear him probably try to gaslight us if he did, but
Right.
no, I don't. I don't think Hal would let Cashman trade Spencer Jones. You know why? 'Cause Hal is pretty quiet. He's not like his dad, but Hal is. He told Cashman, "Show me every scenario for the trade deadline, and I'll tell you yay or nay. Don't
Yeah.
worry about the price."
We know that. Yes.
So I bet you he'll be like, "No, we're not getting rid of Spencer Jones. But we can get it done with this, and this.
First bump dad. Well, what do you guys think of that? If he was from another, any area, he probably would have been out of here. Listen. I don't care if you're from Washington or anything. If you're not playing well, they're going to get rid of you.
I don't think the point is that he would have been gone if he's from Texas. I think the point is that we get on him more and we expect more from him because he is a Jersey kid. We've seen him since he was in high school, all the way through the minor league system, which the minors we would have seen with anyone. But since he's a local kid, there was an extra spotlight on him. There's another added layer of spotlight when he wasn't traded for Luis Castillo a couple years ago. And now that he isn't playing well, now that he isn't doing what the Yankees are expecting him to do, it's a problem. And yes, there is an element of Jersey in him that increases the frustration.
Oh, yeah.
Charles says ownership just cares about making money.
Well, let me say this. If you do expand your payroll and it pays off and you win the World Series, the ownership is going to be printing money. So there's that.
Well, they print money now. The problem is they got a lot of expenses. They've got a lot of expenses. I mean, and the number one is paying off Yankee Stadium. And people don't realize that, and they don't care. They want a great team out there. And, the Yankee fans, some of them are spoiled. They want to win every year, which in a way they get into the playoffs just about every year. It's very hard to win the World Series like they did years ago. It's never going to happen again. You're lucky if you win one. Name me the next team that won back to back. You had to go not only the Yankees, even before that, the Toronto Blue Jays, and before that, the Cincinnati Reds. It's not easy anymore. It's getting harder and harder with free agency, with international signings, with all of that. It's not easy to win a World Series anymore, guys. It's just
not. With the expanded playoffs, nobody wants to give up any of their players.
Right.
So it makes it that much harder at the deadline because you are going to have to move off of some more top-end guys because
Ben and Sean, that's another farce. Too many games, too many rounds. I mean, if you want to keep those rounds, then go 142 games, not 162. You have a schedule of spring training, then a rigorous 162. Then if you're a wild card, you got to play 3 games. Then you got to go in the playoffs. You got to win 4 games. Then you go into the World Series. You got to win 4. How much can you possibly do? That's why you will never get a repeat team. It won't happen.
Last time a repeat team was the Yankees between 98 and 2000.
It's just that way. Let's face it. Hal is not his father. He won't go the extra. That's not true, John. I'm sorry. It's not a question. If he didn't want to do that, he wouldn't have a $300 million payroll. Listen, he was complaining. He was complaining when it was $200 million. The first thing he said to Meredith, never forget it. I still have it on tape. Why do I have a $200 million payroll when people that have 80 win the World Series? So look at your team. Now he's above $300 million. How can you call that he doesn't care? The man has his own. It's a business. He wants the Yankees to win. I know for a fact that he breaks things. But what are you going to do? What can you do? You have board members. You have all kinds of we have to accept that. They're not they're a cash cow, but they on paper. The Mets, on the other hand, if they really wanted to, they could spend like drunken sailors, like the Dodgers, because the owner of the Mets has $18 billion behind him.
Hal Steinbrenner has plenty of money to spend.
No, Hal Steinbrenner has $3 billion, $3 billion behind him. It's all in the team. You sell the team, and they'll get $9 million. Don't shake your head because that's true, and I know that for a fact. Don't forget, it's not just Hal. His sister gets a piece. His grandkids get a piece. They have 28 board members. The Mets don't have that. It's all the man's got $12-15 billion. He can spend anything he wants. Steinbrenner can't. We got because of Steinbrenner, George, but the salaries were a lot lower than they are now. I mean, the biggest salary with George Steinbrenner might have been $200 million. That's all it was. Hal Steinbrenner comes, $500 million, $400 million, $700 million, $800 million. You got to give him a little break here. But to say the man is cheap is wrong. I'm sorry. You got to defend what you got to defend.
How is a lot of people like to try and call him cheap, but he's not cheap. He just cares about the quality for what he. If I'm paying you $300 million for a 9-year contract, I want your best quality during that 9 years. You know, I mean, how's that type of guy? He is business sound, but he cares about quality and more than about the quantity. Because if he was spending loosely, man, he would have gone after Correa or some injury-prone guy.
Right, exactly.
The fans
and that probably would have been George Steinbrenner.
And we'd be stuck in the same situation.
Let me get him. Oh, this one. You know, Hal offered Soto $765, allegedly. How can anyone call Hal cheap? And I'll tell you right now, if they would have gotten Soto, you wouldn't have gotten anybody else. You wouldn't have gotten anybody else. You would have gotten 5 and diamonds. That's all you would have gotten.
If you take away the perks in the Soto contract, the suite and the treatment for his mom, the shopping sprees and all that stuff. If you were to take away the perks that the Mets offered, it's only $5 million difference between what Hal offered and what Steve over there offered. Steve Cohen.
Yeah.
$5 million.
But he's a kid. But Soto went for every dollar because of his agent. Look what he said about the All-Star game. He was worried about a measly $100,000.
That's coming from Soto, though. That's not coming from Scott Boras. Soto is programmed. I think regardless of his agent, he was going to the top bidder. And I said it before, the Mets don't have to land Soto, but they have to have the highest offer because Steve Cohen is the richest owner in the sport, and he did what he had to do, and Soto made the right choice. So,
right. And then you know what the biggest pain that owners have to deal with? And Hal is the biggest complainer of it because it drives me crazy. They have to revenue share. So you got Yankees, you got Mets, you got Dodgers, and you got whoever else. But they got to fund the bill for the Brewers, for the Rockies, Miami. And the A's are a nomad, so.
Well, that's why I believe this will be a work stoppage. It's not. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But that's for another day. That's for late next year. But there will be I'm telling you, even though there's not many issues, but the issues that are there are very, very telling to teams that make a lot of money. And listen, I'm not crying for the Yankees because they shell out. but there's only so much you can shell out, guys. There's only so much. There's got to be a window, you know. And the thing about Bonilla, I would love sitting at home and every June or April, I get a check for $1,300,000 and something for the next 5 years. That's awesome.
It's the next 10 years, but yeah. Well, I'll just say he could have had that money in 2000. He didn't have to keep defer his contract. And it actually worked out perfect for the Mets because they ended up getting David Wright out of that because so I'm sure you guys know the story, but Bobby Bonilla deferred the contract so the Mets could go after Mike Hampton. Hampton pitched 1 year for the Mets and then left to the Rockies. The Mets got a compensatory draft pick from Hampton leaving, which they used to take David Wright. Yeah.
No.
So Bobby Bonilla's deferred contract led to David Wright.
Right. Well, but then you also got the Reds are still paying Ken Griffey.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that really is crazy. I don't know, guys. I mean, like I said, let's go into let's just talk a little bit more about the trade deadline now. With everything that we know, forget about what we know in the office. What realistically do you think the Yankees will do? The Yankees first and then the Mets. What do you think the Yankees will come up with, in your opinion? Start with Sean. Go ahead.
Well, we need a solid third baseman. Hopefully Suarez. With someone with a bat. But that's one of our big issues. And then the other issue, we need to reinforce the bullpen and a starter. But then we need to have – can we at least play fundamental baseball while we waiting? While these trades are figuring out, can we play some clean baseball, fundamental sound, and be aggressive day in and day out? That's all I ask for the team. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. I mean, we all got our wish list, but, I'm just gonna let the trade deadline play itself out.
Yeah, I think I'm at that point because you're like, oh, we're getting close to this player. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that, and that's the problem. And we got to see what happens. Ben, I'm interested in hearing what you think the Yankees are gonna do, knowing the whole picture. What do you think?
Relief pitching. That's what they need most. They're ravaged by injuries. There's no denying that. I mean, we had a whole argument about it earlier. Ian Hamilton isn't good enough. You do have a couple guys there. You got your Devin Williams, your Max Frieds, your Luke Weavers. That's who I'm going to pick up. Tim Hill, JT Brubaker. You have those guys, but you need another high leverage guy. Like Williams and Weaver aren't enough to get you through the postseason. So I would say reliever 1A and then third baseman 1B because you haven't had a true third baseman in so long.
Right. And that's Cruz, to the point, Fernando Cruz was awesome with us, but
I forgot about Cruz, yes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. I think, honestly, I think the Yankees are going to get somebody like an IKF. I just don't see them getting any more elite than that, or they're going to try somebody who's going to be older, and I don't see them doing that either. So I'm telling you, I know you could shake your head all you want. I will be the first to say, thank God that they get somebody good, but I don't think they're going to spend all that much money. I really don't.
No, I was shaking my head at the thought of IKF coming back to play third base for this team after the way he exited his first tenure. Yeah.
No, I mean, I loved IKF, but I understand fans were like, hey, he can't field. And it's like, but we're playing him out of position. He's a gold glove third baseman, and we had a man in shortstop. And then when he didn't do that, we were turning him into a Zobrist.
Yeah, and no, that wasn't fair to IKF, and yet, he was abused, and it wasn't fair for the fans. We didn't really see the real IKF when he did some really cool things though while he was in the lineup. He stole home against the Mets. He had some big clutch hits in that year, but he never had a chance. He just never had a chance because that man, one day he was a third, one day he was a short, one day he was in left field, one day, or not playing. It wasn't really fair. Let's face it. The only reason why they got him at that time is because they wanted to get rid of Gary Sanchez so bad they can taste it. That's the only reason why they made that trade. And Donaldson, and then Vic Cashman would come out and say, well, Donaldson is Donaldson. Was it Gio Urshela is nowhere is that. Meantime, Urshela had a better year. I would have never given up. You could see that Donaldson was slowly going down and down and down. That's why he went to 1,000 places. He couldn't stay. And his attitude was awful for that locker room. I mean, geez.
Oh, no. And you know what? That was the thing about Donaldson his whole career. Even when he went off in 2015 with the Blue Jays and got the MVP, he was a bad teammate. He'd always cause drama. He'd run his mouth or whatever he did.
Yeah, he did.
But he was all washed up when we traded for him.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then Donaldson had 2 years left at $25 million. So if you're gonna call Hal cheap, he took that contract. And look what happened. So now you want to go get, let's say, just throw somebody out, the third baseman maybe of the Cardinals. You really think he's going to make that much of a difference, 35 years old? Yeah, he may get a few hits. He may. But aren't we tired of getting has-beens? I'm tired of it. You've got to get control.
Eugenio Suarez is not really washed up or has been. Yes, he is in his 30s, but he's still playing in the end of his prime. But how much longer his prime is, that's to be determined.
Razzle says, the only blame I give Hal is that he keeps trusting Cashman with his payroll. Well, it's to a sense, but still Hal has to say yes.
Yeah.
He like Razzle says, Joe, a Cashman, that's what he does. He grabs the bottom of the barrel scrap and then he overpays for them because it's like his dad loved big names. I'm not saying that he's his dad. He's not. But his dad loved big names, and that's why we got into a hole. He would get people like Rick Russell, who was basically over the hill. He would get John Mayberry. He would get all of these guys because, quote unquote, they had a name.
Don't forget when we got Sheffield and Kenny Lofton at the end of their primes.
Right.
Tim Raines.
Guerrero.
Oh, he did try to get Guerrero or something happened with.
Yeah, because they wanted Gary Sheffield. The Guerrero was ready to sign with the Yankees. Could you imagine a difference that would have made?
Oh, John glad to see you.
John says that the trade that they need to make involves Boone. They don't hit and run. They don't try to steal enough. Only a few guys on the team can bunt. But do they? We saw one bunt the other night, and it was a beautiful bunt. Why can't we see more of that? And then you're asking a guy that could hit 30 homers to bunt for you. Why not Volpe? I don't understand the logic to the team. They have no direction. They have nothing. Hal only comes in, and I agree with the great. Hal only comes in with major moves like Judge and Soto. And then after that, it's like, I don't know. It's very, very confusing. It really is. George traded a lot of good players away back in the day. Of course he did. I've been screaming about that. AJ, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming in. Time for Hal to sell the team to a big corporate owner that can compete with billion-dollar owners, not the multi-million-dollar owners of the past. Boone and Cashman need to go. Okay, who do you want as manager, and who do you want as a GM? Simple
You don't have
question.
to have it. I wouldn't have a name if I was telling you. I would be waiting to the offseason, and that's the Yankees.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
Because you
do
got to
that.
see who's available, what bench coaches are you going to be able to poach, and things of that nature.
Right. And then here's the other thing with the how and the $1 billion thing. Dodgers are owned by a hedge fund. Steve Cohen is super rich, but when George bought the team in the Yankees in the 70s, he was super rich.
Yeah, but the money was different.
The money was different when George. But
I mean, Reggie Jackson got $3.1 million, $2.8 million. Are you kidding me? You know what he would get today?
Right.
You think Soto got a lot of money? You'd have to give half a Yankee Stadium to Reggie Jackson.
Yeah. But here's my point. What I'm saying is today, you're not getting a lot of absolute ownerships. You're getting these partial. You got majority owners, minority owners. You get a lot more of these hedge fund guys like the Dodgers, where they'll have a front man, but it's a whole group that's splitting that's footing the bill. Like, okay, the Orioles, they have a new group that's owning them, but they got one rich person that's like the face of that ownership group. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
It's different when it's one family or one person with all that money that the family thrives off of funding the team versus 8 or so rich folk that are all, taking up chunks. You know what I'm saying?
Here's another thing that a lot of people don't realize. Now, the Yankees struck out 12 times, correct, last night?
Yeah,
that's
12 times.
4 innings that are wasted. 4 full innings that are wasted. So now you only have 5 innings to do some damage. When you're down 7-0, what are the chances out of 10 you're going to come back? Not many.
I mean,
when were they down 7 though?
No, I'm giving an example.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm just saying 4 innings of waste, complete waste.
Well,
and sometimes 5 innings because they strike out 15 times. And how many people do they leave on base? We haven't even touched on that. It's a gazillion.
Well, but that's also the problem too. Sometimes, and I know sometimes it happens, whatever. But we'll wait. We'll get 2 outs, 2 quick outs in an inning,
right?
And then we get a runner on. But then by that time, you really can't do much. You have to basically string hits to get the guy in.
Yeah.
And they don't string hits. They just go for homers.
Yeah.
Well,
although, when we've had the big innings.
I got a little surprise for you guys. We have NR Media here to say hello and come up and let's see what he has to say. Hello,
what's up, guys?
How are you?
Ben. Hey, Sean. What's up, chat?
How's it going?
Joe? Ben, welcome to the show. Hey, guys, in the chat, whoever's in the chat, we're the ones who recommended Ben for Joe's show, and he's bringing a different perspective to sports, and he's doing a great job. So shout out to Ben. Go follow his podcast. He does a great job, and I'm liking the background over there, Ben. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of people were wanting to leave the chat, and it was like, these are opinions. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to mine, and the chat, you're all entitled to yours. Right or wrong, It's still an opinion. That's what we're all here for, to have a little bit of fun and to talk about what's going on. So
it's sports. Whenever it's on the topic of sports,
I really do. What was that?
Whenever it's on the topic of sports, whether it's the Mets, the Yankees, basketball, football, baseball, it doesn't matter. It's never personal with me. If it's talking about sports, it's never personal. It's all for fun. And I probably lost an argument. I probably won a couple, but it's all fun and games.
The big shows, Michael Kay has Don LaGreca. Don LaGreca said to Hal Steinbrenner himself, I'm a Met fan. I'm a Met fan on your channel. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, Don LaGreca.
I don't care if you're a Met fan, a Yankee fan, or a WWE fan. If you
actually,
what was that?
Yeah, my team and I are actually good friends with Michael Kay, Don LaGreca, Peter Rosenberg. We usually do do our annual ESPN event in New Jersey at Bar A with them. So we had them at Bar A again. I think it was last month. We had them last month, and obviously Alan Hahn is another one that we know. They have a great crew, and we built a great friendship with all of them. So,
well, another thing too in the show. Yes, we are NY Yankee Mania, but sometimes it's nice to have a disagreement in a nice way, because if you're always agreeing, we don't, if the world was perfect, guys, we'd all be millionaires. We'd all have wonderful, beautiful, beautiful mansions. We'd have the greatest of cars. This is life. This is life. You're entitled to your opinion. And how about in marriage? The opposites attract.
It's an opinions business. If you're not,
it doesn't work.
It's an opinions business, and this is just me thinking. But if we're not having that disagreement, that big fight we had earlier, it's not even a fight. It's just that debate that we had earlier. The chat wouldn't be this filled up. So saying, I see Pudgy Festa. Those aren't opinions. They are facts. Bring facts. This is an opinions business. This is an opinions show. It's boring. If I just came on here and I had a sheet of stats to tell you, oh, Jazz Chisholm is hitting 260 this year. Oh, Aaron Judge has 7 home runs. That's boring. Nobody wants to listen to that. The opinions are what makes the show the show.
Well, wait 1 minute, Charles. Thanks for tuning in. We will have a regular post game at 4 p.m. So I hope you join us. And yes, I have the Twinkies ready for us. So get it going, baby, for later on. We're going to be enjoying some food together, okay, Charles? We'll definitely see you later. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, and to the point, y'all remember Chris Mad Dog Russo, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He gets paid. He gives more opinions than he does facts. He does back up his opinions with facts and stats.
Mm-hmm.
But him, Stephen A., all those guys, they give their opinions more than they give facts.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with having a Met fan on, or you have the Jets and the Giants. You have a Jet fan. You have a Giant. Look how successful Michael Kay's show is. All right, they're elite. They're on WFAN, and they told not FAN, ESPN, but it works. You don't. Hey, listen, Don LaGreca was the Rangers a color man. He doesn't like he doesn't like he's with this team. He's with the Devils.
Yeah, shout out to Don getting an opportunity with the Devils now. So I'm happy for him.
Right. And Pudge Fester is right. The Yankee lineup right now is not good. There's no sugarcoating it. And if Judge doesn't hit, they don't flourish. They don't.
No.
That's why they need. I told everyone on this show a couple times already. The Yankees need 4 to 5 players to improve this team, in my opinion. And to be honest, this Pittsburgh Pirates trade that they're talking about, it doesn't. I mean, to be honest, for me, it does not move the needle. But I would love to have pitchers like Mitch Keller and Benhar, but you need more to that.
Right.
4 to 5 players is aggressive, especially with how tight the market's going to be this year.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
right. And for the chat, this is a great from FJ. On WFAN, Russo was the biggest Yankee hater of all time. How did that show do, guys?
Oh
Took
no,
it to
because
the top for many, 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 many years. It
I would say
worked.
pretty good.
Mike
Pretty
was
good.
Pretty well.
and his
Yeah.
partner though was great too. Mike, remember
Mike
Mad Dog
Frances
and
is the
Mike?
best. That's
Yeah,
Yeah. You know, they had their opinions. Sometimes they didn't even talk to each other. And I
they were
saw
too
it
busy
myself.
yelling
I
at
was
each other.
in the studio. They didn't talk to each other. They hated each other until the end. And
They
it
yelled at
happened.
each other.
What?
Most of the show, they were yelling at each other back and forth.
Yeah,
That's what it
I'm
is.
telling you, when the lights went down, when the radio was off, they went. Russo went one way. Francesca went to the other way. So there's nothing wrong with the matter of difference. I like having two different opinions, three different opinions. It works.
That's what makes it fun. That's it.
What?
It's not fun if we're sitting here. I don't know. Let's just say predicting a Yankee game,
Yeah.
or a couple
Yeah, do
weeks
we
for the
just want
Yankees.
to we want to bash?
Joe
Let's say
says,
I feel bad for Volpe. You want to bash him 20 hours in the day?
I mean,
Let's get
debates.
a break.
But debates are fun though on shows like these.
Yeah,
Debates are fun.
that's what these shows are for, to debate.
Or in Vince's point, if we were here, right? Or if we were
If we're
here,
here
to
sit-
try
if
and
we're sitting here predicting
the
a couple
Mets.
Yankee games, and we're going down the line, and I'm like, yeah, they're winning 2 out of 3, and then Joe goes, yeah, they're winning 2 out of 3, and then Sean goes, yeah, they're winning 2 out of 3, and Nathan goes, yeah, they're winning 2 out of 3. That's not exciting. There's nothing to argue in that.
Well,
So
look at
everyone-
us. Look at. I give you an example. We had big discussions about Spencer Jones. Under no circumstance do I want to trade him. And Nitin knows this. He's been with me every morning. He knows it. I do not want to get rid of him. But I understand what somebody else. I value your opinion. If you think that he should go, okay. But that's not my opinion. What is wrong with that?
Nothing.
Our show with and I'm being honest with you, everyone. Since we've had this, our show is going through the roof with viewers. And I love each and every one of you. It's absolutely fantastic. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. What I have
Well,
what
just
this
like,
show
yeah,
has
you know,
right now is working. And I love it. And I've had professional people tell me that. Real professional people.
Yeah, to answer Pudge's question, like I said, I would do that trade with
And then-
Pittsburgh, but I need more to
well,
that.
and
I think we lost Sean.
at that point, remember we were talking about Hinton, right? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Sean is freezing up. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having Mitch Keller or Benhart. But Hayes, to be honest, Hayes is having a down year. His average is low, but he brings defense, which is the key. Defense is the key for the Yankees right now. So Hayes wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind Hayes, but if we can throw in another player, but it'll be tough. So I think the Yankees. I think the Yankees are trying to get multiple players in one trade. I think trying to solve everything in one instead of doing multiple trades. I think the Yankees are trying to find a trade partner where they can add multiple players into one trade instead of going to multiple teams. I think that's why he's taking a while. That's why he's taking a while.
FJ has an interesting trade here. Another contact creator suggested Spencer
Yeah, but
Jones.
Ramirez was taken off the market, so that's not going to work.
yeah, he's off the market. FJ. Plus, there, you know who's on the market for them? Kate Smith and Tasey. That's it.
Yeah.
And
So I wouldn't mind those two pitchers either. Not saying Kate Smith to beef out the bullpen. Those are two pieces I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Before you were cut off, Sean, what was your thought?
Well, we was talking about different things and about different opinions. But I was gonna bring up when we was talking about Hamilton earlier, I noticed in the chat people were like, "What do you mean he's reliable? He's trash." I said, "But I was telling you, you know what you're getting out of him." I agree that he's underperforming, but at the same time, he's one of the guys we have on our team right now in our bullpen. he's a guy I can sit there and go, okay, I know what I'm gonna get out of Hamilton.
Well,
You know what you're gonna
And if
get.
he can
That's
just
the
give me
biggest
3
thing.
outs.
honestly, guys, if everybody thinks that Hamilton is a serviceable pitcher right now, then you're not watching the game I'm watching. I don't trust him as far as I can throw a piano, and that's the way I feel. Now, somebody gonna dispute me on that? He's been awful. He's been awful.
I wouldn't say he's awful, but he hasn't been good.
He hasn't been good. He's a guy that I'm like, oh no. When I see him warming up and we're about to take out a starter, and I'm like, oh no. Is Boone throwing in the towel? That's my first thought.
Right.
But then sometimes he comes out and he gets 3 outs. And then I'm like, okay, Boone, don't stretch him further than that.
Yeah.
Ian Hamilton, I mean, ever since he came back from the injury, he's been downhill ever since. And I think it's time to either DFA him or send him or trade him. I mean, I think he's cooked, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, Mario, welcome back to the stream. I appreciate it. How's it going? Everyone, again, thank you so much for being here. Sorry if things got a little hairy, but this is what it's all about. That's what we're here for. We're here.
I think this is the longest stream you ever done, Joe.
It's getting close. It really is. Yeah. The guys are making me stay on. So hey, listen. But I do want to say though, everyone, please understand that we are having fun here. It's a matter of opinion, just like Nitin had just said. And by the way, we have some great shows coming up for you. Don't forget Thursday at 4 p.m. We're gonna have a CEO of a very big sports entertainment service, and she's located in New York, and her name is MJ Perdone. And let me tell you, you guys are gonna love to hear everything that that's going on and raising money and raising this. These are the different shows that we're gonna bring to you guys. Yesterday we had Jake McGee, a former a Yankee killer, and I needled him a little bit, and he needled back. I mean, it was great. I think he even called Nitin or texted Nitin to say he enjoyed the interview. So
he said he had a great time, and like I said, fans tune in because my team and I are connected with pretty much most of the athletes in different sports, and we can get you guys various of people and various of guests here. So stay tuned, more to come, and shout out to Jake McGee for taking the time to come on this show here, and we booked him for other shows also coming up this week. Stay tuned for more Jake McGee stuff. So
Pudge brings out something really nice. Joe, how can we send a super chat or donate to your show? Well, that's so nice of you. To be honest with you, that's why I always say to subscription, because we need 500, and then you could and then we can have a super chat. I've already reached all the other goals, guys. We just need 500 subs. So get your family, your friends, everybody involved. Once we get 500 subs, hey, listen, I have personal people that want to do a super chat and donate the show. And you know what? I won't accept it. You know why? I want to earn it. I want to earn this. I love what I do. I love you guys. And I want to expand. And I don't stop. I go to different avenues. I'm working on a lot of different strategies, a lot of things. This means a lot to me, guys. I have it in my blood. But I absolutely love. Thanks, Bud. That would be great. Once we hit 500 subs, you're more than welcome. But I won't accept it without doing it because I want to know, hey, you know what? I earned it. And that's it. I am not taking a shortcut. I want to be able to say, wow, we got 500 subs. And I did it with my staff, with people like Nitin and Sean and the new guy above here. Mr. I can't thank everybody enough. No, I know. I'm just saying, and Jonathan and Ken These are the people that have brought joy to this, and everybody in the chat from Pudge, from Mr. Met, you name it, Jacob Petruzzi, Jason C, everybody, Mario, all you, the D Train, Celia, John Ferrazzo, Bob Rizzo. I can name everybody here. I got a pharmacy that has our show on every morning, every afternoon, and they let people hear it. That's how I'm growing. And thank you. I really, really appreciate. But we got to all stick together. We need 500 subs, and trust me, I am trying my best. And thank you.
What were you gonna say, Sean?
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I don't know if it was just on my end. It was a little choppy in between, but no, Joe. To the point, though.
Yeah, this happens on live podcast.
Yeah.
No, he's. We'll bring you back up. Ben, do you have some few things to say? Oh, another thing that hurt the Yankees, by the way, they gave. I mean, Tommy Kahnle, just when he left, that bullpen too was devastated. Look what he's doing for the Tigers.
Yeah, he's balling over there.
Yeah,
I love Kahnle, man. He's underrated, and we had the opportunity to cover one of his rehab starts at Somerset. So I had the opportunity to talk to him at Somerset, and he's a great guy, a great person, and he that was 2 years ago when we had him, and then so that was when we got to connect with him at Somerset during his rehab relief period.
Another very, very nice comment. I'm here. We appreciate you, Joe, and also I'm here for a long time. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. See, this makes my day. See, guys, I don't know if you know my background, but if you were here in the beginning with me, I explained I've been around thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I've worked for the Yankees. I've worked for the Rangers, the Knicks, the Mets. I've been there. I've done radio. I've had a show on WMCA where the Yankees first started on 570 AM in New York City. I've been on KTU, which is a big dance thing. I did some sports in the morning a few years back. So all I know is that I know right from wrong. I know unions. I know owners. I know all of that. So when I say something sometimes, it's because I'm in the know. I've been in locker rooms thousands and thousands of times. And I'm not gloating here. I'm telling you facts. And a quick, fast story. If it wasn't that I took this route, I would have been a very sick man. You know why? Because the Yankees are in my blood. And I would get sick when they lose. Sick. And you know what? My family had a nice family business in bakery, in Italian industry. And when they heard I wanted to do sports, it was like a godsend. Because when I went into the sports world, I saw what it is. You know what? They may have more money than me, but they do the same things. They eat, they sleep, they go to the restrooms. We're all going to pass 100 years from now. We all do the same thing. You can't put these people on a pedestal. You got to live your life. You have to live your life. Trust me, I've been there. I've had to take medicine because the Yankees are in my blood. I love them to death. Love them to death. But you got to see the reality in growing up. You have to. It's a job. And I love the job. And that's why I say to everybody, never give up your dream. Never give up your dream. And sometimes that dream will help you live for the rest of your life. Oh, never forget that, everyone. Please don't forget that. Sports, you close the TV, you got your family. Do you think they care about you? No. I mean, they care about you as a fan. They don't know that Nitin is alive. They don't know that Ben's alive. They see figures. But we know ourselves who we are.
Yeah.
And let's
Hey, Joe, I got to drop. I just want to say keep up the great work and stay tuned, everyone.
Thank you, Nitin. And,
Right, see you, man. And, Joe.
See you later.
Yep.
hopefully
Have a
we'll
good
see you pregame.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Hey, big guy, are you okay here?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a little choppy. I don't know. It's just a Wi-Fi connection, but it's fine now.
Okay.
Um,
Then we're gonna start. We've been on for a long time, an hour and 45 minutes. But you guys have been great. The eye over here keeps going up. I don't think you guys want us to leave. but Ben, give us some thoughts, and I really appreciate you. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I'll say, just plugging myself here, is Mr. Met was asking when I go live on YouTube. So I don't do live streams often. It's like a very rare thing. But once we get to postseason time, baseball-wise, I'll do like pregame shows just like this. So usually it's a little bit quicker. But my podcast, I have about 200 episodes. It's called The Sports Pod. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts and YouTube. I do interviews. Sometimes I've had WFAN personalities. I've had beat reporters. I've had TV analysts. I've had TV play-by-play guys. I try to post at least twice a week over the summer. It's a little bit more consistent just because of the time of the year. But you could also find me on Instagram at @thesportspod_Ben and TikTok at the.sports.pod. And if you want to leave me a voicemail to react to, you could do so by dialing 848-305-8073.
Great. I couldn't you come straight to the point, and I'm very happy that you're on with NY Yankee Mania, and I hope it's going to be for a very long time. I hope you're going to be around big time for the trade deadline, which I'm really looking forward to. That show, which we're going to be on all day long. So we're going to end. I'm lining up a couple of former players, so look for that too. I am not revealing anything. It will just I will when everything is set, you'll know about it. So, and there's just a few other surprises that are going to happen that day, but we'll save that for a little while longer. But right now, final words, Sean, your final say, and then we'll give it to Ben one more time, and then we'll end the stream. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this team, I know they've been kind of inconsistent lately with how they show up and approach games, but I'm still gonna root for the Yankees. We still can come back, and we can take at least two out of the 3 games against the Jays to keep it within striking distance of the division. And but yeah, we're gonna root, but don't get overworked up about these players unperforming or not performing or under whatever, because at the end of the game, it's a sport, it's a game. It's a part of life that we use to have fun and.
Yes, I'm definitely get what you're saying.
And they're making millions of dollars playing a sport that we all love.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Sean. And thank you for being on. If you're available for the pregame, please let us know, okay? Oh, he doesn't hear me. Okay. Thanks again.
I have a work meeting.
Okay. All right. So if by chance...
I have a work meeting around the time on the pregame, but I'll be on.
Oh, okay. All right. And then if the post game, I'll always send a link out to you. Okay. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. And thanks so much for your time. Bye now. Ben, your final thoughts? Go ahead.
I'll start this. End this show the same way I started it. The Yankees have to come back and win the next 2 games and take this series against the Blue Jays, or I'm gonna think there is a serious problems. But just some closing thoughts. Really good show today. The chat was real fun. Pudgy, D Train, Jose Castillo. It was fun going back and forth. You know, it's
No,
fun. Sports. This
that's
is it. We
Jason
torture ourselves.
Castillo.
We watch these games and we argue about it. This is it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to have difference of opinions. It really is. So, but thank you, Ben, and hopefully, I know you have a trip coming up. I hope you have a great time with you and your family, and looking forward to the next time you'll be on. Hopefully, we'll get you on the weekend or early next week. But thank you. You did a big impact to our show, and I got to be honest, and I'm a little selfish. We want you back.
I'll be back. Don't worry.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch. And in case I don't, please be safe with your family and friends wherever you're going, okay?
Yeah.
You take care. Thank you so
You
much.
too.
All right, everyone. And then there was one. So I want to thank everyone so much for staying on so long. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that, he got a little heated or whatever, but it was a fun heat. It wasn't anything that, was we weren't throwing darts at each other. It's a matter of opinion. And I still stand by it. It's a good thing that you have teams and people that like different teams. And I think it's good. I think it's good for the show, good for just to manage everything. Just a few notes. So we are going to go to. We are doing a pregame, everyone, and that'll be at 4:00 our usual time. Then we're going to go to Ken the Ugly Truths channel, and you're going to listen to a very good play-by-play, and I mean very good. It's a lot of fun. He tells it like it is. He gets mad when he's supposed to get mad. The umpires and everything. He knows a pitch coming in. He guesses what the next pitch is going to be a lot of the times, and a lot of times he's right. So then so from there, I know it's a lot to digest. From there, come and come and see our post-game show tonight. Now, if the Yankees make a deal, if the Yankees make any type of noise, we will either go live or we will put it on NY Yankee Mania. That's why it's important for you to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you get all the notifications. And I'm sure as podcasters, you probably know that by now. You've probably heard that over and over again. And the beautiful kind words from people like Pudge and in the chat from Bob and Kevin, just to name a few. Thank you so much. You just let me go that extra mile, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep fighting. That we're going to make this a very enjoyable run, hopefully for many years. So I can't thank you enough. Don't forget, on Wednesday, July 24th at 4 p.m., we're going to have the live show with MJ Perdone. She is the CEO of Indra Public Relations, and it is a fantastic story, her journey, and she is well respected in the industry. So I feel very lucky. We're going to be interviewing her. We also we have one signed ex-baseball player that's going to join us on the trade deadline show, and he's going to join us at I'd say around 10 a.m. And remember, that's the only day that we were going to go from 8:30 in the morning. We're going to start at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. on July 31st, but you'll get notifications, no problem at all. So thank you again for all you do for us. So again, everyone, I want to say thank you. God bless you all, your families. Don't take everything so darn serious. Your family comes first, you come first, and our lives come first. This is just a journey to have a little bit of fun and forget about some things sometimes. With that in mind, God bless you all. God bless America. We will see you at 4 p.m. sharp. Good day, everyone. Let's go, Yankees. Stay well and hug everybody. And we love you all. Take care.